Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a scene from a game, but I'll leave it up to you to guess what game it's from. It's still going to be a tutorial of sorts. So let's get the screencast keys. So today we're just going to block it out. Do a little bit of modelling, but really to block it out. Okay, so we're going to start with a plane. Let's have a little look. Item, say 8x8, 8x8. We're going to chuck in a wall, so chuck in a cube, make it down to, well, that'll do, 0.46. Don't forget we need the X on the 8 meters. I'm not going to make everything out of one item because then I can move it around. I've only got an image to go by, so yeah, I'm just going to do this 4 meters. Just lift it up there. We're going to duplicate that on the Y, rotate on the Z by 90, just sling it on back there and bring it in there. And then we want another wall, shift D on the X, rotate Z 90, and that's not going all the way to the end there, but we'll go about there, and it kind of comes out about here. Now there's 2 machines. It looks like a drinks machine and maybe a fridge. So we're going to chuck in a couple of cubes. This one looks quite a tall, so Z say 2.4. It looks taller than the average kind of person. That's all I'm going with. Maybe on the Y 1.5, and then it kind of, maybe it's just like 1 meter. We'll run with that for now. We can always change it. As I say, I'm doing this by eye. So it kind of looks a little bit taller than that, but maybe my room's a little bit big. And then we need another one, shift D on the Y over here, and this is, it looks a little bit thinner, so we're going to say 1.1, and the height say maybe 2 meters, and just bring it down to ground level like so. I'm just going to chuck on, what am I chucking on? For cavity, that's it. So we can see the outline a wee bit better. Right, so okay, so I think that might be a little bit thinner actually, so maybe 1.3. Yeah, it looks about right, 1.3. So just down here are some boxes, so I'm just going to take this, duplicate on the X, I'm going to bring it down, we're going to scale that down and across, maybe inwards. They're only sort of that size boxes, there's only a couple of them on there, so they are, if you say 0.75, 0.5 and 0.65. Okay, and there's a couple of boxes on the floor, so we're just going to chuck one. This is where they are actually on the image. I'm going to put one there, and also there's another one. Shift D on the Y, and then we're just going to rotate that, sort of like that. There's also a couple of buckets on the floor, so shift A, and then we're going to make a cylinder. Let's scale that right down. This is like a bucket. Looks like a large kind of bucket. Maybe something that you would maybe, I don't know what you'd have in it. This looks like a plastic bucket. But it's kind of that height. What I'm going to do, it kind of looks like it's got sort of cone shape, but not too much, like kind of like that. Now I'm just going to delete the top, delete the face, go back into object mode, go to modifiers, and then just do solidify, and then just 0.04, and then apply that. So I'm quite happy with that. And there's also one Shift D on the Y, and that's kind of rotate X 90, kind of like that. I may need to readjust the sizes on these, I don't know yet. But that's kind of out here, pointing out there. Also, what we've got is this one here. It looks like there's 3 lids on the floor that fit on these kind of bucket things. So I'm going to shift duplicate on the Z. I'm going to squish that down, kind of like that. But I'm going to select those edges at the top, or those faces at the top, and just scale them back in just so it's like a lid, and then just maybe bring them down slightly so it's like a lid, and then rotate Y 90, 180. So we've got 3 of those. One of them is placed here. You've probably played this game. It's probably been a while since you've played it, because it actually didn't do too well when it was released. It's like one of those that was released too early, and then everybody complained about it. Shift D on the Y. So we've got another lid kind of here, and Shift D on the Z, another lid up the top here. Kind of there. Right, now what we've got on the walls, there is like a little truck thing with more boxes on it, but that's going to take a little bit longer to do. So what we're going to do, the wall thing, we've got 3 panels up here, so Shift D on the Y. We're just going to, how big are they? About that, maybe a bit taller, probably like that. So what we're going to do now is Control A, because we want to reset all the transforms, because what we're going to do now is go onto the front face, so tab into edit, hit number 3 for faces, and then just select that front face. Now we're going to select I for inset, and it's kind of like that. Hit number 2 because we want to get the faces, and just kind of bring that up, kind of like that, and maybe that's across a little bit there. Now hit number 3, and then we can bring that across over to there and up. And then we want to extrude on the X, not too much. And then with this face again, we want to inset again, like so. Number 2 for the edges, just bring them down, maybe like that, and that face there, that middle one, just bring it over there. And then what we can do is just extrude on the X, not too far. Okay, so that's our box, and there's like 3 of those. So what we want to do is go to Object, Set to Origin, to Geometry, and just shove them over to the wall. And there's one. Let me just see if I've got the height right. Yeah, maybe. 1, duplicate on the Y, 2, duplicate on the Y, 3. Okay, and it looks like there's also another box, so we'll just get that one, duplicate on the Z, just bring it over. It's quite a bit smaller, so we'll make that kind of like there maybe, and then obviously in like so, and then I think it might be a little bit taller than that, and that kind of goes above the first one. The image that I've got is kind of at an angle, so it's a little bit difficult to see everything at the moment. So there's a box there, it looks a little bit bigger. Maybe, oh yeah, maybe that. Kind of there. And we seem to have, let me just see if I can enlarge this image. Oh, there we go. We seem to have some sort of panel here, around here. So Shift D on the Y. I'm just going to bring that down because it's a panel which goes about there. It's a little bit bigger than that, about there, and it looks like there's a meter or something on there. So what we'll do is we'll just Shift D on the X, scale that down, and it goes about sort of here, and then there's another meter above it. Shift D on the Z, kind of like that. Looks about right, but there should be enough room there for a piece of something that comes up here. I don't know if that comes from the ground or what, but there's a bit of tubing. There's another panel. I'm just going to select this big one because it looks about the same sort of size. Duplicate on the Y. It kind of goes here, and it looks like there's like a, let's say, cylinder maybe. And you scale that right down. Let's get that over there. Rotate on the X by 90. Bring it up, up, up. So just bring it across there. Scale it right the way down because it's kind of like half a cylinder. And it looks like there's two of, oh, excuse me. Looks like there's 2 of them on there. So we'll just make that a wee bit bigger. And then Shift D on the Z. Kind of like that, but it looks like they're a little bit further down. Like that. Yeah. Kind of like that. We'll do the tubes later. But now we've got that far, the room is kind of a little bit big, so we've not just got to bring that over. Looks like it's about there, so we can bring our wall over. I mean, the lighting, I'm going to change that to an area light. Probably about to 50 watts. X, Y, maybe 2 meters. Let's reset the rotation to just straight down. We want 2 meters by 1 meter maybe. Let's just bring it down to the sort of ceiling level, sort of about there. But what I think we need to do, the lighting looks a bit weird in the image, so we're just going to open it up to the full length of the room now, like that. And it's kind of like an orange. It's like an orange. Oh, let's see what that looks like. Okay, let's just lift that floor up. G on the Z. There we go. Okay, let's just give it a little bit of colour. I said I was only going to box it out, but I'm just going to chuck in a little bit of colour just to see. Let's just take that out. So these are going to be grey, like a dark grey, and then we just chuck it on that one, chuck it on that one. That one there is, looks like black, maybe a darker grey. This one here is probably the same colour as that, and then they're kind of white. That's white, that's white. The boxes are like a brown, obviously. Just make it a little bit darker. Yeah, I do. That looks like a brown box. These are red. Obviously there's a pattern on them, but I'm just thrashing it out at the moment. And then we'll just get that. Whoa. Let's just bring those up. Select that. Chuck that on there. Chuck that on there. These are kind of like dirty grey sort of colour. Let's just lift those up like so. The two, like the drinks machine and the fridge thing, is kind of like a dirty white with a little pattern on it, but we'll go over that later. So let's, oh, my keyboard. Sugar. Keyboard just fell off the desk. Sorry about that. Okay, so let's see what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, I'm okay for a box section. That's not too bad, I guess. If you're liking the video so far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and hit that notification bell. So we're just going to hit on the denoise with the optics. Yeah, I'm liking that so far. And then obviously over here, Shift D on the Y, there's going to be, as I say, it's a trolley. It's kind of facing, whoops, not that way, but I'm going to keep it sort of straight just so we can set everything up. It's kind of that big. Well, it's got two boxes on there, so if we just shift, take that one there, Shift D on the Y, rotate Z 90. So this has got like two boxes on it. So this one, obviously we've got a push rail thing there. So, and to be fair, it does look like, the second one does look like it's hanging off. Shift D on the Y. So it's kind of like that long. So you can see there, this side you'll need the right, we're going to put a handle like a bar on there that you push it along with, and then in the image it looks like there's about that much scraping off the edge there, like sort of like that. And obviously it's got the wheels and that, but that's all I've got time for today. As I say, I hope you enjoyed the video so far. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to give this video a like. Don't forget to come back to see part 2 of this video, and we'll see if you can guess what game it's from. It's quite futuristic. I'd say it's relatively sort of new, but it sort of flunked when it came out because it wasn't ready. But yeah, so that's where we are. And I will see you on the next video where we'll get a bit more done. Okay, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Ta-da for now.